everyone. So I'm here to talk about the brachial plexus. As you can see, I have all of the different hierarchy of structures associated with the brachial plexus. So remember, we start off with the anterior rami of some specific spinal nerves. And then from there, we're gonna go with the T. What's the T? Trunks. Then divisions, then cords, then to all of the nerves. So when you're studying, remember to kind of understand each flow of these structures that will give rise to all of these different nerves towards the end. So let's start with the anterior rami. So for the anterior rami, remember the spinal nerves associated with that will be from C5 to T1. So we start off C5, C6, C7, C8 to T1. The next hierarchy will be trunks. So C5 and C6 together will form the superior trunk. C7 on its own will form the middle trunk. Then C8 and T1 together will form the inferior trunk. Then how does it connect to divisions? So the next part, the divisions, each trunk will have an anterior and posterior division corresponding to it. So this will split into two: anterior, posterior, anterior, posterior, anterior, posterior. Okay, so now there is an anterior and posterior division from the superior trunk. There is an anterior posterior division from the middle trunk, and an anterior posterior division from the inferior trunk. All right. Next, let's do cords. So from the cords, we have three types. What are they? We have the lateral cord, we have the posterior cord, and lastly, we have the what? Medial cord, not median, not middle. It's medial cord. All right? So now, how does the divisions connect to the cords? So, the lateral cord is formed by the anterior division of the superior trunk and the anterior division of the middle trunk. All right? Then the medial cord is formed by the anterior division of the inferior trunk. The easiest one to remember is the posterior cord because it will be formed by all three posterior divisions of all of the three trunks that we have. So I'm going to put an arrow here, an arrow here, and an arrow there. Now we'll move on to the last part, which will be the nerves. So cords, nerves. So I like to use the acronym MARMU, M-A-R-M-U. M-A-R-M-U. So we have musculocutaneous, axillary, radial, median, and ulnar nerves. All right? I'm just doing shortcuts right now, but make sure you're always spelling things out and writing the complete answers. Otherwise, it will be considered incomplete. So always write the word nerve. Okay? So how do these nerves connect to the cords? So let's figure out from the lateral cord. If I draw an arm here, here's the shoulder, here's the armpit. The arm's going to go down like that, right? So, of course, this is going to be the most lateral. So the most lateral nerve will be the musculocutaneous nerve. And that musculocutaneous nerve will travel all the way down by the brachialis muscle. So it'll be superficial to the brachialis muscle and deep to the biceps brachii. The next nerves that will be associated with the posterior cord, there will be two nerves. So it will be the axillary nerve and the radial nerve. So remember, the axillary nerve pretty much ends abruptly into the axillary region and it will travel posteriorly. Hence, it is in the posterior cord. Also remember, that we have the radial nerve, which will also travel posteriorly. Okay? So when you're looking at these nerves, remember, you will see all of these cords, but make sure you pay attention to the cords that are towards the front and towards the back. So the posterior cord will have two branches coming off of it. Now, we have the last one, the medial cord, which will give rise to the ulnar nerve. And it makes sense because your ulna is medial, closest to the body, right? But then we're left right here with the median nerve, MN. Okay? Focus on median versus medial. Two totally different things. All right? The median nerve will be formed by the combination of two cords. Who can name those two cords? Do you remember? So if you said lateral and medial cords, you are correct. So we will combine the lateral and medial cord, and it will form the median nerve. If you will notice, when you look at the cadaver, when you look at the models, even if we ask you to draw this will form an M shape. Everything that is on the front, excluding the posterior, right? You see that M. So three branches should be arising from the anterior point of view. So you can see the most lateral part of the M, the lateral prong of that M, will be the musculocutaneous. The medial prong will be the ulnar nerve, and the middle prong will be the median nerve. So you will see the medial nerve extending all the way down to the forearm, the ulnar nerve extending all the way down to the forearm, but the musculocutaneous ends at the biceps brachii region by the brachialis region. Out of the two posterior cords, the radial will be the only one that will extend laterally all the way down to the forearm, because remember, it will travel posteriorly by the radial groove on the humerus bone. Okay, and then it will travel anteriorly. So now, with the expectations on the forearm, there should be three nerves that you need to see there. There's going to be a lateral nerve, a medial nerve, and a middle nerve. The lateral nerve, your thumb side, will be the radial nerve. The medial nerve on the ulnar side will be the ulnar nerve. And then the one in between that will be the median nerve. Okay? So again, we have this model right here. You guys see that? Oh. You can see that there is a branch here that it's on the posterior side. You guys see that? It's on the back, and three divisions attached to it. So those three divisions on the back, so that's automatically going to be the posterior cord. Okay, do a lot of process of elimination when answering these questions. We're giving you all these techniques to be able to identify what you're looking at. So if you look at the cadaver, you look at the models, you look at the images, or if you're asked to draw, you should be able to answer these questions. We could ask questions such as, if we are tagging this nerve, for example, we tag the median nerve, which cords form it? Or if we are tagging the lateral cord, which divisions form the lateral cord? Which divisions form the posterior cord or the medial cord and all that stuff? All right? So the next one I'm going to show you is the lumbar plexus and then the sacral plexus. I will go show the cadaver later, but remember, if we show you any cadaver videos or photos, please don't post this in your social media accounts. Don't be sharing it to people that are not supposed to be seeing this. These are donated by people, by our donors, so please treat them with respect and dignity. All right? So hopefully this helped with the discussion, and I'm going to post more videos for you guys.